whole bunch of people running around like maniacs.
I'm reminded how fast a year goes by, because it seems like just yesterday we were launching last year's campaign, and it's scary how fast we find ourselves in the same situation. Joining us also today are members of our Foundation's Board of Directors. So Louise Stevenson is our board chair, and Dave Cromwell is also on our board, so they're here to lend their support. And at this point, I'm going to introduce Dr. Kathy Barnard-Thompson. She is a family, hey Greg, come on in Greg. Come on in. She is a family physician here in Northumberland, and she has graciously agreed to serve as this year's campaign chair. So I'm going to introduce Kathy, and she's going to say a few words. What do you think, Chris?
You can stand, or sit, stand, whatever.
Be comfortable.
Be comfortable. Okay, well, I'll sit. So I'd like to reiterate the comment that yes, time goes by very quickly, and this hospital is very grateful for the donations of the community, and what a generous community we do have. We really need help with maintaining our high-end equipment in the hospital. We get very little government funding for such things, and really depend on donations. We have a first-class diagnostic imaging department, and I know we've raised funds, and all our surgical equipment in the past. We've had lots of great support from the community. And this year, our maternal child program is very grateful for being the highlight and raising funds for fetal monitors. These pieces of equipment cost about $27,000 each, and we are hoping to raise $150,000 towards this cause. Briefly, a fetal monitor is a piece of equipment that not only monitors vital signs in mom, but also in the baby during labor. And for some moms, we use them fairly consistently throughout the labor. For some moms, we just need to check in once in a while, but either way, it's a really crucial piece of equipment for monitoring babies and maintaining health throughout labor and delivery. What else can I say? The staff are really what's important in this, and equipment is crucial, but I want to highlight that our clinical team is bar none, with excellent nurses, midwives, respiratory therapists, obstetricians, family doctors, and anesthetists, and it really is that team of people that particularly I want to congratulate. And
Great. Okay, so Dr. Barnard-Thompson has talked about our goal of raising $150,000 to purchase 6 of these fetal monitors. And we always try at this launch to feature the story of a local family that perhaps has had cause to use the services of that particular unit. And this year we're really happy that Kevin and Katrina Read and their children, Charlotte and William, have agreed to allow us to share their story out in the community, because I think it really does inspire people to consider making a gift when they know that their gift helps people in our community, like the Read family. So Katrina, are you going to be?
I'm going to talk, and then Kevin's going to wrap it up, but I wrote it down because I'm going to mess it up or skip things, or, you know, and I know the important stuff. So we married and we wanted a big family. That was pretty much the get-go. And so in 2009, we thought we were there. We were pretty ecstatic. And that pregnancy was an ectopic. So that came to a pretty final end in emergency here. So I guess I met the Emerge staff, who were wonderful from what I remember, but it was a pretty quick in Emerge, and I lost a fallopian tube. So I guess I was down to one highway to get pregnant, and we were a little upset about that. So we knew we still could. It was going to be hard, but everybody was good at explaining this is just a little bump. And then we got pregnant again, and then we lost that one to a miscarriage as well. So in 2012, Charlotte came about, and we had it all planned with the midwives, and everything was great. And as everybody does, you have the perfect plan. So I went into labor, all calm, thinking this is how it's going to go, and well, as parenthood goes, it didn't go that way, and Charlotte decided to be maybe a little bit stubborn and not come when we thought. So then the machines all came out, lots and lots of machines and lots of voices, and the midwives were with us, and more nurses and more doctors, and me looking at Kevin, and Kevin studying the machines, and I remember them saying, okay, you're going into surgery. It's not going to happen the way you wanted to, and I panicked a little, probably a lot, but I like to think I had it under control. But the machine and Charlotte's heartbeat is what calmed me down to listen to the doctors, to listen to, it was Taryn by that time, and to accept the fact I was rolling in and I was getting what I wanted, but not the way I wanted. So that was my first experience with that machine, and then 18, 19 months later, this little guy decided to come weeks early. And again, we had a plan, trying it naturally. And many, many, many hours later, he too decided to be stubborn. I don't know if it's a family thing, but we panicked a little bit there. And again, the machines came out, more machines with William. But again, the heartbeat was behind all the machines. And the more machines that come, the more I was worried things were wrong. And the staff's amazing, and I will never remember everybody's name in that room except the ones I see again and again. So they calmed me down with the heartbeat again, and this time when I went in, Kevin couldn't come. And then when I woke up in the surgery room with a couple nurses calming me down and just talking to me, William was waiting for me. And the thing with 2 cesareans is I got to stay in the hospital for a long time, 4 days for both of them. And I got to know the nurses, and I got to see how crazy it is in that place. And Taryn and Aaron visited often, obviously, to take care of the babies, but it was the nurses at midnight coming in to make sure I could breastfeed properly, or to calm me down that babies are supposed to look like that, sound like that, do that. And it was more the feeling like somebody was being your friend, I think, with the staff, as opposed to being like, this is what you do, just do it. It was more like, welcome to motherhood, nothing will ever go as planned. And yeah, so that was my experience with all the machines, but I think I remember the people more than anything.
And just to kind of piggyback what Katrina was saying, in our whole kind of path to have a family, you know, I was that supportive husband, and but my role changed very quickly for both pregnancies, from a supportive husband to a spectator. And I remember with Charlotte, when our plan quickly changed. It went from a natural birth to a cesarean. And the thing that got me through the most was just concentrating on the heartbeat. That what Katrina was set up with. And then the support staff just took care of every need I had, every question I answered or asked, they had an answer for. And then when William came along, again, the plan changed very quickly. But I was a little bit more at ease this time because of the success we had with Katrina and Charlotte previous. And again, the machines came out, and I just kept focusing on the heartbeat, William's heartbeat, to making sure that you know, the heartbeat is the element of life, and when you can hear it, it just puts everything kind of back to where you want to go. And I could concentrate on supporting Katrina a little bit more, knowing that she was in good hands. And then I was unable to be in the surgery room with Katrina. But once William was born, the staff was just amazing. It was, you know, all the questions, all the answers came immediately. So I'm blessed with our family.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. That was very brave. I just want to thank you for making the time to come out and share your story. Katrina mentioned Taryn, and I want to introduce Taryn and Aaron. They are from New Life Midwives, and we have a partnership with New Life here at our hospital, so they're here and can answer any questions at the end of the presentation. But right now, we also have Tony with us, and Tony is a nurse who works in the Maternal Child Care Unit, and she has brought along one of the fetal monitors that we are looking to fund, and she can quickly do can you do a demonstration, Tony?
So this is our new fetal monitor, and as Dr. Barnard-Thompson was saying, we have the capabilities to monitor mom's blood pressure and also her oxygen saturation levels with this And then as far as baby goes, we can, when mom's in labor or even before labor, if we're doing a non-stress test, we can put her on the monitor, and we have one here that is called a toco, and it is placed up on her abdomen, and it measures how tense the uterus is. So if the mother's having a contraction, the uterus tenses up, puts pressure on this, and this number here will go up. So we can tell when she's having a contraction. What else it does is monitor the baby's heart rate, and this is through this ultrasound here, and it lets us determine how the baby is reacting to the contractions, if the mom's having contractions, if she's not, just how the baby's reacting to movement, and it lets us, it just gives us a picture of what baby's doing inside. It is can be very reassuring for parents. A lot of people say that when they're stressed, and that letting them hear the baby's heart rate often calms them down and keeps them calm. Lots of nice features with this particular monitor that we didn't have before. The one monitor that measures the contractions can also pick up the mom's pulse, and it actually prints it on the paper, so we can always tell the difference between the baby's heart rate and the mom's pulse. So there's never a question there that we're not hearing the accurate baby's heart rate. We can also make all kinds of comments on the strip just by selecting the buttons on the thing here.
And I think, we have, yes, it has memory, and it also has wireless. I think somebody was walking around the unit wirelessly,
Yeah,
which was really nice.
It's
feature.
excellent. Yeah, we've used it for that, had clients. So quite often women want to ambulate in labor, and these wires only give them about 2 or 3 feet. But now we have a wireless attachment that can actually walk up and down the hall. And actually, we can even if they're walking in the hospital, we can call them back. So it's a great little feature.
We also have a smaller unit, one that's portable, so for ambulance transfers and that, we can take that with us. It's much more convenient.
Thanks, Tony. So it's always tradition that we have several events that happen during the Light Up a Life campaign period, and this year is no exception. We have 3 that we want to highlight today. One is the Reindeer Run, which will be held on December the 5th, and it's in conjunction with the Northumberland YMCA, and it's a 5-kilometer run or walk, and we split the money 50%. It's a great little event if you're not an experienced runner. I mean, Karen, you've done it before, right?
Yeah, maybe 3 times.
Yes.
It's fun. Yeah,
I also ran it last year, and I made a note never to run it with Scott McCoubry because his legs are much longer than mine, and I could barely get across the finish line. The other event that we have returning is our Light Up a Life radio breakfast, and it will be held on December the 9th. And many of you may recall that last year we went with a live radio format to share stories about the success of the campaign, and we featured a variety of experts in a field of finance, health at Christmas, like what we eat. And I remember the dietitian saying, it's not what you eat between Christmas and New Year's, it's what you eat between New Year's and Christmas. And I thought that was really brilliant. So this year we want to repeat this, and we have somebody coming in to do a segment on financial fitness. At the holidays, we have somebody speaking on yoga and how yoga can help de-stress at a very busy time of the year. We also have the chef from Best Western who will be giving us 3 different appetizer recipes for when we're entertaining, and they're designed to be really simple. And obviously he can talk us through it on the radio. I mean, you can imagine somebody sitting at home listening, so it's going to have to be easy. So that's December the 9th, and our partners are Star 93.3 and Best Western. And then the new one that I really think the community will get excited about is happening December 12th and 13th, and it's called Family Christmas at the Spry Christmas Tree Farm. And Brian and Sharon Warm Spry have a Christmas tree farm on Danforth and Ontario. And they are donating 100% of the proceeds to for families that come out and select their Christmas tree, have a photo taken with Santa. The photo will be emailed to the family's home computer, chili and hot dogs will be provided thanks to our support from Cameco. And there will be hot chocolate and coffee. So the whole idea is to create a memorable experience for local families. So that's something that's new and exciting, and there will be information in your packages that describe that. So at this point, I would just ask if the media has any questions that they want to ask of our experts. Greg?
So you're not going to have the traditional tree lighting at the hospital?
No.
Here anymore?
No, we're not going to have the event of the tree lighting, but Dave Cromlish from our board of directors, he is actually leading, the courtyard will still be decorated. It will still have lights, yes. I think next Thursday is the day that they'll actually be installed. As Linda said, our patients really do love to see that courtyard lit up over the winter months. But this event, the radio breakfast, will replace that traditional evening ceremony.
Is this an additional number of activities for Life this year? Like previously there was only one or two. Is this the most, is it?
So far, yes, yeah. I think the addition of the Christmas tree weekend at the Spries is, it takes us to a third event, so.
3 minutes. And plus you send out the letter for.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 5,300 direct mail letters are being issued to homes this week, inviting support. So in your media packages, and I think I gave you one, Karen, and I also gave one to Chris, and there's ones here for anybody else who wishes one. There is the news release, there is the story that tells the Read story, and it's actually the call to action, you know, asking people to donate, and then there's a list of all of the activities that are upcoming. Karen, do you have any questions?
Maybe I missed it, but you're raising funds for 6 fetal monitors. How many monitors do you have now?
There will be 7 monitors in the building in total. The foundation is funding 6 of those monitors, and the
Okay.
auxiliary is funding the 7. One is a transport monitor.
But do you have one, you have them now or?
Yes, they're here. We're funding them now. They
Oh, okay.
actually arrived, I don't know, June?
I think it was June,
June or-
it was June, I think.
The monitors that we replaced were the original monitors from when we moved into this hospital. And
Okay.
really, they were a priority to purchase last year.
Okay.
They were vitally required, but we just simply didn't have the funds.
Okay.
So we had no choice but to push them off to this fiscal year.
Okay.
So these just arrived, and I think the staff are extremely pleased. Tony, they're a big improvement.
Oh, yeah. They're a big improvement over the old ones. They have some other features. I think you're mentioning some of it. Yeah. Better.
But I think the key, Karen, is that they have to be paid for. They have to be funded.
Of course. Yeah. So are they replacing? So you have the exact same amount as
Yes.
before? Okay.
Yeah.
But you
Yes.
just replace some of the models.
Yeah.
The new models.
Our old monitors were breaking down, and like it was time.
Okay.
And these are, I mean, this puts us on, like, these are the same monitors that they're using at the big hospitals in Toronto, and it's
Okay.
like they're using these at Lakeridge. These are top of the line. And these are top of the line monitors. I came from a center that used these before I came here, and I mean, they're what everybody is wearing in obstetrics.
But I think that also speaks to the fact that the hospital wants our patients to have top of the line care. We want the
Absolutely.
best for our families, and we're prepared to invest with the community support.
Okay, so it would be a total of 7 in the?
No, we're only funding 6.
Are there 7 in?
Yes.
Okay.
And the auxiliary funding the other?
Yes.
So you just have to pay for the other 7, okay.
Any other questions? Thank you, Charlotte and William, for being so well behaved.
Well, she fixed herself up off the floor.